Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to our YouTube channel today where we're going to talk about how to be a good friend. I think we've titled it, How to Get the Type of Friends You Want. Oh, man, this is going to be a good topic today. I got some of my friends around here. We're already feisty today. Lily and I have been at odds with each other for the last 5 minutes just because of conversation. She's already shaking her head. This is Lily.
Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. There's your smile.
Yeah. She's already, we'll unpack that a little bit. We got Dwayne all the way in Mississippi. Let's just jumped in because you know he's already laughing and smiling because he's just like, earlier he's watching the whole thing and he's like just smiling at the whole thing. He said, I was just watching, aren't you, Dwayne?
Just enjoying the conversation.
Really?
I'm glad you're enjoying, Dwayne.
More banter maybe? Or conversation?
Oh, more banter than was last week for sure.
Yeah, because it was
That's because we had a bunch of peaceful men in the house.
A bunch of?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You guys
you're
were all
saying-
Or
so
Scott
peaceful.
just nicer to us.
Oh my goodness! That's not true. Lily liked that one.
Joey's like, oh, what's gonna happen?
No, Lily's just conditioned better in the. She knows she needs to play along a little bit at times. Joey gets like this. You're the bit of like, what?
Yeah.
Everyone, this is Joey. We didn't introduce him yet. This is Joey.
What's up, everybody?
A lot of conversations about you this week on the One Wheel channel. People are going, where has Joey been? We miss him. So just so you know that you are a beloved.
One wheel.
Yeah, people love you, man. We got a family all the way from Brainerd. Talked a bunch about you yesterday. They can't wait to hang with you today. So,
They're coming? Oh, is that the family that's
yeah,
coming?
they stayed here.
That's awesome.
They pulled a trailer all the way from northern Minnesota down here, stayed in our driveway to be able to go to church and to the chili cook-off today.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty cool.
Cool.
It was pretty cool to hang with their family all day yesterday. And they got up early to go set up. I'm like, you haven't even never been to church, but they're going to show up today. So
awesome.
it's going to be
Very
good.
cool.
And it is Super Bowl Sunday here in the United States, which is always a fun Sunday to be a part of all the shenanigans that happen. What seems to be the entire country talks about who's going to win. Lily came in with her best joke of the day. What was it you were saying you thought about?
Well, I thought about wearing red today and saying I wore red so you knew which team I'm rooting for, but I don't have any red, so it flopped. Do you get it, Joey?
It flopped.
No, not the flopping
I don't know
part.
what the fun part is.
The
Yeah,
whole idea flopped. Like, it just didn't work out. But if I was wearing red and if I said I'm wearing red because I wanted you to know what team I was rooting for today, isn't that kind of funny?
That's not that funny.
Yeah, exactly. What makes it funny actually is her delivery now. Now that she knows it's not funny, she's played it
It
much
only
better.
would have been funny if it was real. But I'm not wearing red, so.
But I don't think if you were wearing red, that wouldn't be funny.
Yeah, it's funny because both teams have red in it.
I think the word
Yeah.
funny needs to be replaced with maybe like
It's hilarious.
I still
Hilarious?
don't think it's that funny.
I don't think hilarious is the words I'd be using. Maybe ironic.
I think it's hilarious.
What? Your hilarious meter is broken. Like hilarious to me is like I'm crying while laughing.
That's what would have
Oh
happened.
my goodness, Dwayne, you want to weigh in on this, or are you just gonna still enjoy?
Oh yeah, still enjoying.
Still enjoying this guy. Okay. I do like how Dwayne on Super Bowl Sunday is wearing purple and yellow, but
Purple?
it's
Not quite. It's
that
blue.
looks
That
like
is not
purple to me.
purple.
Is it blue?
It's blue. It's blue.
I was wondering if
Does
it
it
was
look
the-
purple?
Are you
No, it
are you a
looks
little
blue.
bit colorblind?
No,
It looks
that
blue.
My background is blue.
It's because
That
he
is blue.
sees the yellow and he just
Your
automatically
background's
goes
purple.
My
purple.
background's
Is it?
purple.
It looks purple. It looks
No,
purple
that's
here.
blue,
No,
bro.
it's
blue.
blue.
That's
It's
blue.
blue.
Oh yeah, Dwayne, come at me now.
Maybe
I
I'm
am-
the colorblind one.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it is purple and I just my
Can
whole
you
life
show
has
us
been
the
a
rest
lie.
of the shirt
Yeah, it
though,
looks like he's
so
got
we know
palm
that it's not
trees and
spiking?
stuff on it. What is it?
What is it?
It's a Orange Beach shirt.
Oh, okay. So
Uh,
not a team.
We do a test in our
A
house,
place.
Dwayne, which you would have failed there. We do a test all the time with our kids without looking down. Tell me what's on your shirt. And you were just doing. Joey just had to look down, like, bro, it's a plaid shirt.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I was just acting.
It's a great game.
I was just acting. But we
you
do.
know what I've
Making me
learned to
feel
do
better.
in the moments where I like make myself look kind of silly? I go, gotcha.
Yeah,
So
but everyone
you-
knows when you do the
You can
gotcha.
do that and make it look like you were just really being clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's gonna buy that with
Yeah.
the two of you. Like Lily, you think it works, but everyone knows.
Your mom's siding with you. She says it looks purple on
Thank you. That's it. Let's document that. That's like one of the first times in a decade my mom sides with me, because normally if something happened when I married my lovely wife, my wife is always sided with. It's because she's compassionate. She is unconfrontational.
Your wife?
She's so easy.
Oh, your mom.
Both of those women. At least, I mean, women to women kind of deal. No, I've never won. Maybe I am the feisty one today, Lil.
I think it's you.
Oh.
I didn't wake up feisty. I woke up thinking about Patrick Mahomes and
wearing
Brock
red.
Purdy, and I thought about, man, this is a big day for them. I said a prayer for them.
Wait.
I did.
Finish the whole story, though, what you said
Well,
earlier.
I just was getting ready.
This is great, Joey. This is great.
This is true.
I know, but it's let's ask Joey the context. Everyone at home watching,
I just
we're
was
gonna get to
getting
the
ready,
topic.
and I thought about the mornings that I've gotten ready for like big competitions. Now, I've never done anything to the caliber of the Super Bowl, so I recognize that. But those mornings have been very like nerve-wracking. You know, you have butterflies in your stomach. So I thought, ooh, that's probably the kind of morning they're having. And then I thought, wait, they're in Vegas, so that's it. They're probably not awake yet, but they're gonna have that kind of morning. And I just was like, I know how they feel in a way, kind of, barely.
This girl, at least you've been in big games.
I was
that are
thinking
like,
about them
Yeah.
this morning. That's all.
that's great.
Yeah,
And
I know it's probably very stressful.
Okay, but
They
you.
probably got all these things they're doing. Like, who was that one player that was like meditating before the game? He was on it was a blue and yellow team. I think something like that.
Like
What am I
college?
thinking of?
College or professional?
College. It was the
JJ
Michigan.
McCarthy. JJ
Michigan.
McCarthy.
Yeah,
Look
okay.
at
Yeah.
me.
Look at me calling out blue and yellow like it's what NFL team
Anyways,
is that?
I'm sure they have a whole routine,
Yeah, they
but-
have a routine.
A total big
yeah.
routine.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that they like on the inside are nervous.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think
I
you
mean, I
put you
was.
put the pressure on yourself. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why Lily's hardware.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dwayne,
cabinet
tell me need to help
is-
her. Let's see what I'm saying. Let's see what I'm saying. This guy right here. Where are you? Right here. This guy.
I keep it all right here because I'm humble. I don't need to display it anymore. But
Hey,
always here for where is it?
I would just like to point out in the big ones that really mattered, where there was money on the line.
Here they
My
are.
hardware is sitting on the wall right there, and it's
Money on the
weapons.
line. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Uh-huh.
Dwayne, for always having my back.
But,
Yeah,
but
Dwayne.
let me the
I'm here for
the
you.
difference between these trophies
What is it? Those are sweet.
those are made by you, and those are from one wheel races.
It's true.
So what are you saying?
So I'm
Yeah,
saying.
say
Joey-
what you're saying here.
Joey,
Don't
get
just
this.
pretend.
Get this, Joey. We're talking
That you-
about.
No. We're talking.
That-
No, you
I'm
know
just
what
gonna
he's
go.
saying.
What am I saying?
No, finish it. That's
Maybe
what I
it's
want.
not
The
as-
Finish it.
advantage
The advantage is
because you are the creator,
Oh.
and so you know.
Joey, get this. We're talking about how one wheel racing might maybe go toward like having teams. So like let's say we're on a team with
Yeah.
Scott Mendenhall and friends.
Yeah.
Our score accumulative is averaged out together, and then potentially if our scores are really good,
Yeah.
then we do well on the team division.
Uh-huh.
And Legend was saying that he's gonna make his own team, and I'm his first round draft pick.
That
Me.
guy, what a jerk. I love you, son.
Anyway, so that's all. That's enough.
Yeah, man, we're talking about friends today. Can you tell? We feisty. But I think good friends should be able to have banter like this and smile at each other. And you got to not be offended in some of the jeering. Always understanding people's hearts. So we are talking about how to get the type of friends you want. Because we all want heaps of friends. I think culture sets us up to you have to have lots of friends. What do psychologists say that the average human, and I know, somebody's going to, I hate averages. But that's what we got going here is averages. The average human can have how many pretty good friends? Like you can't have 100 close friends, but pretty good friends. And then through this number, there are layers of friends. But what would you say? Most people can have how many pretty good friends? What would you go?
asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking even the chat. What would you put? It's a number.
I'm gonna say 3
3.
3 to 5.
3 to 5. Okay. Miss Lily,
I would
who is not
say-
feisty at all today.
I'm not. I would say like 3. Three at most. And you want to hear something?
No,
Every
I do
time
not.
you would talk about this, like even when I was young, and it would be such a small number, I would be like so sad, and I would just like mourn.
What?
Yeah, because I've always had a lot of good friends, but the older I get, the more I understand.
You realize, okay, good. Dwayne, how about you? What would you say? What do psychologists say, the experts say, the studiers of human people, the average, and we're just saying, I'm not clumping this into high quality friends. I'm just saying what they're saying being somewhat close to, what's the number?
3. That was
3.
the number that came into my head as well.
Okay.
3 is just a good number.
3 is correct when you break down this total of 10.
10 what?
10 good friends. When we define good friends means you can have them over for coffee and you can carry a conversation about anything. But it's the layer of vulnerability in trust and truth-telling is shallower. The further down you get in your friends group, so then I think the number goes to 7 is the next tier where you're going to be more trustworthy with them. Like your group of 10, you don't trust them with everything. Your group of 7, you will begin to trust with more. When you get to 3, now you're talking about what Joey, Lily, and Dwayne are pointing out. What I think you're referring to is this, I'm going to use a word that... intimate friendship, where you tell them your struggles, even those embarrassing things when you're married and struggling in your marriage, you're okay reaching out and saying, hey, I'm struggling with you, help me through this. 3 is the number. 3. Now, the crazy bit is when you talk about, well, 3 is the number, that's it. The best way I can explain this is when you say 3, you are considered in the number of 3, so it's really 2. You're the third component of that. And so we say 3, and I think we think 3 individuals of 3 different names, but you're in that group of 3. And so now picturing your life, who are those other 2 people in your life that you're that intimate with? And now I think culture says, oh, that means I must talk to them every day. I must talk to them X amount of time. That is conditional friendship. That's not what that conditional friendship is reserved for the 10 and above. When there's conditions strapped to friendship, it's not a genuine, authentic friendship. It is something else. It is maybe on its road to, it's a journey to, but if there's conditions wrapped into a friendship, it is not a healthy friendship. Do we agree with that statement? If there's conditions, Lily, is it an unhealthy friendship?
Yeah, I would say so. I think when it comes to conditions, I think we don't realize how quickly they come about in relationships. And so it's something to be on the lookout for. I think the goal would be, even in the 10, to have none. But definitely in the 3, there should not be any conditions.
There shouldn't be any, which, I mean, it's humans.
Yeah, we're humans.
So we tend to put conditions on a lot of things.
Perfect.
And I'm just looking, like, Kayla Lily, good morning. I hope you're feeling well today. She says 10 to 5. I think I think Facebook came along, and because it was how many friends do you have, I think all of a sudden it was like, oh, I need lots and lots and lots, and that will give me popularity and will create a net worth of me as a human being the more friends I have. And so then we look around and go, if you have heaps of friends and they're all shallow, then you're missing out. Friendships should take steps and journeys. It's like any, I'm going to use the illustration, like any good wine, right? The more expensive wine, the better wine, if I'm told correctly, is it's aged. It spends some time and getting better. And I think that's the thing about friendship. So my question is, I got a lot of questions for you. How many really good friends do you have? This is more of a internal question for yourself. Maybe I'll ask it this way to help kind of pinpoint. What's your oldest friendship? Like, how long have you been friends with them? The oldest friendship, not the oldest person you're friends with, because maybe that's what you're going to go to. But who is, or in your life, your oldest friendship? If you can't get it, you're like, I just kind of. Here's how people are going to spin it, I think, is they're going to, well, I don't leave them, they leave me. But there's some truth to that, but what I do understand in relationships, when it's another human being, you're a part of the equation. You're part of it. And so for you to say it's always them is to not take ownership of like, no, I got to own at least 50% of this because I'm in it. So how old is your oldest friendship? How long ago did it start? Because the more fresh friendships you have, the less intimacy is there, less vulnerability and trust because you're learning. The next question to that is why the length? What's the story inside that? Maybe you're gonna say, I moved. You got Joey, who's grown up here in Minnesota, right? You haven't moved. Lily's moved a lot. She was born in New Mexico, went to Florida, went to West Virginia.
Not West.
Virginia. Then back to Florida, to then Minnesota. She bounced around a lot. I've lived in Illinois, Ohio, Illinois, Florida, Minnesota. Bounced around a lot. So does that mean as I move, did I lose my friends? Did I take them with me? Were there some friends that I had in Florida that were conditional? Not by my setting, not like, hey, you do this and this, but it was conditional because of proximity. And is that okay? Is that wrong? So the next question is, maybe I know for some of you, you're like, Scott, you're bringing up some bad mojo in my life. I'm thinking about these friends I used to have. So why are you not friends with them anymore? And I don't need you to, I'm just trying to get you to process this of, okay, why are you not friends anymore? How are you telling the story? What's that, Joey?
This is so funny. I literally, this whole conversation I was having with my coworker on Friday.
Because they were asking about friends?
We were just talking about friends and how that's something we've struggled with since being married and
yeah,
it was just talked about all that stuff.
Yeah, because I think as you're saying there, seasons change the relationship. It doesn't mean it has to change the intimacy of the relationship, but the how does change. You get married, all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm married, my time needs to go to my wife. You do need some grace and compassion from your friends to go, oh, this guy's married or this woman's married. I got to let them invest into that marriage because that thing is forever. That's a number one priority. And then you have kids. And you only have, like, both these fine humans sitting at the tables here went through marriage counseling with Holly and I, and we always use the illustration inside marriage. Remember the bag of gold that we talk about? We'll go to Lily. She has a better memory than Joey. I saw Joey.
Gold?
Yeah, you start your day with a bag. I might have used money.
Sure. Yeah.
What
Like
was
$24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You remember it, Joey?
Like 24 hours?
Yeah. All right. This guy, man. Yeah, you got it. You nailed it. The fact that
If it was a bag of gold, would it be 24 pieces of
24
gold?
nuggets.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Okay, $24. What's the illustration? You got everybody waiting.
Well, it's that you have $24 in a day, and hopefully, you're spending 8 of them on some sleep. So subtract 8. What's that, Joey? 24 minus 8. I want to say it's 16. And is that right? Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
What?
Oh, she made me nervous there.
Some quick math. And so maybe you work 8 hours a day. Subtract that. You got 8 hours, 8 more hours. And then, how do you spend that time?
How much time's left?
8 hours. 4 in the morning, 4 at night.
Yeah, what's 16 plus 16?
24. No,
So-
that's wrong. 32. Oh my gosh. Anyways, you get it.
Right, so every dollar represents an hour, and there's just some things in life, especially Western culture, that it is what it is. Like, you work 8 hours, but then you got to put your travel time in there, and so now you smack on probably 10 hours to get there. You got hours to get ready. By the time you come home, maybe you spent more time. Maybe you had to spend $2 an hour because you poured into, maybe you're a teacher like Dwayne and Joey. And by the time you get home, you're exhausted. You spent all your money. You were spending $2 an hour in relationships. By the time you get home to your family, you got no money left. And all you want to do is veg out. And it's like, why is that? It's because you spent all your money. We as humans, we've got to make sure we're allocating our money that we're saying equals as time right. Or we're going to get ourselves into a pickle with the ones that matter we don't have time for. It's just the reality of it. And people are going to come in and go, I want a piece of you. And it's like, well, if I give that, I can't give it to those that are my wife, and there's attention to be managed in there for sure, and all that. And since we're on time and money, we should pause for a small commercial really quick about an opportunity for you guys to help with your finances. We are doing Financial Peace University here at Unlock Church. We got a slide for you. We are offering it on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Central Time here in, yes, Lil? Online. But it's 7 o'clock our time, so you got to figure out the math. You can sign up for it. This is to help you get your finances in order. Some principles that could be life-altering for sure. Holly and I have walked through this. Dwayne, you've gone through Financial Peace as well, right?
I have.
And so we are going to be offering this in a context that is going to be for you to consume and get better with your finances, like relieve some stress in your life, take off some of the stress. Maybe you've got a lot of debt and you're like, how do I do this? We're going to teach you those principles, but it's not just about getting out of debt. It's how to create a budget and live by a budget, how to handle retirement. It's just so packed full of good content. I can't even right now tell you how good it is. And so we, as your community, your church community online, we want to partner with you with your resources and really come in and help you with that, because we know there's so much tension around there. We announced it last week. A couple of you signed up. It's free. Your church paid for it. It's $200 to take this class, and your church said, we love you so much that we want to make sure we can provide a opportunity for you, your family. You offer to anybody. It's free for everybody. It's just free. You got to click that QR code, though, and you can go straight. It'll take you to a link on our website. You can actually go to unlockchurch.com as well. You'll see Financial Peace up in the top at the moment. And it might move by this week because we're overhauling our website. But you'll see Financial Peace. Go find it. Fill out the form, and you'll be off to the races. That will start next week. So look out for it. We're excited about it. It's going to be a very good time sitting down and just having conversations through this style of online content. So since we're using money to illustrate time, I think it makes sense, though. Dwayne, does that make sense when we're going back to the illustration of you got $24, 24 hours, and it isn't just $1 to hour, because sometimes you give a person $2 or $3, and that's getting by the time you get home, you got $2 left.
Oh yeah, it makes complete sense.
Have you ever come home, Dwayne, Dwayne's got a crazy schedule. The guy's up at like 2 a.m, drives bus, gets to school, does school. He then drives bus again. He coaches football, baseball, tennis, golf, chess team, and then he comes home, and I might have creatively taken some liberty there on but he does coach. And then you get home, right? Have you ever come home tired?
Oh, all the time.
All the time. Yeah, and it's just, but so have all we. Like, we've all done this, and it's like, we have to be, just like we were trying to teach with keys to be responsible with actual money, you gotta be responsible with your time. You gotta be responsible with it. And so, sometimes, like Joey's talking about, man, as you get married and through life, it's like, how do I carry these friendships on? Is it okay? Are some friends meant to be lifelongers, and some they're just in seasons? And who are those, and which ones you're willing to invest in? I can't actually answer that for you. I can talk about what kind of friend you are and what kind of friends you could have around you, but I can't tell you which friends in your life you should keep. I wrote it like this in my notes as we continue the conversation. To have great friends and to be a great friend, it takes grit. I love that word, grit. And a unique ability to not quit. So to be a great friend, not to have, not to create Lily to be my friend, right? It's my ownership of the friendship pieces. Like, I got to own me. So to have great friends around me, I have to have grit, and I have to have this unique ability not to quit. And we're gonna what is it, Lily? You seem, this is in your wheelhouse. What is it called when you take every letter and you give a word to it? An acronym?
An acronym.
Acronym.
You knew it more than me. An acronym.
An acronym. I don't think I've ever done this, but everybody talks about, well, define grit, Scott. What is grit? So today we're gonna define it by making an acronym. I don't really like acronyms because it's like, just It's the word. But today we're going to do it. For laughs and giggles for all of you, I'm going to do something I don't like. To make it memorable, maybe. Because I think a lot of people don't have grit. We're a bunch of pansies. And I said that about myself as well. That word, by the way, because we use it often, especially in our one-wheel videos, that has been brought to you by the one and only Lily. She called me a pans one time, and it stuck.
I don't think I made that up, but yeah. Coined it here.
Yeah, but you brought it too.
Yeah, don't be a pants.
Yeah. Ledge, are you watching or are you switching over there? Lily's talking.
Don't be a pants.
Okay. To have great friends, it takes grit and a unique ability to not quit, okay? So we're going to unpack that here in a second. But before we do that, it is Valentine's pre-week. You got a week, guys. Joey, every year we intervene in your life.
Yeah, 3 days.
Every year we...
3 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on
Oh,
Wednesday.
my goodness. It's the 14th every year.
Valentine's Day is on Wednesday.
Just
What?
nothing. I don't know. I need ideas, guys.
Get some flowers.
Oh, that's so
So
lame.
lame.
No,
I
it's
agree.
not.
It's so lame.
The only
It's so
way-
normal.
Hey, the only way that's cool is if you have spent the entire year growing the flowers, but she didn't know it, and then then it's like, oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be
That
cool.
would be awesome, but
But-
store-bought flowers are great.
No,
too.
they don't.
No,
I
I don't
are.
think Michaela,
They're like 5 times the amount of money this week. That's unwise.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
but-
sticking to my budget.
Yeah,
That
Jordan, if you're watching though, your wife would like flowers. Any particular? Would you like to just say to the
Yeah.
camera? Look
No,
to the
no,
camera
no.
and say, Jordan, this is what I want.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay. Flowers though. Probably lilies.
Maybe I'll buy her a new
Car.
No.
Oh.
Did you
What's
say
that?
Lululemon?
No, the
I don't know. You're doing this sign like it's a jacket.
Before we were live, we were talking
A
about
loofah!
Loofah.
Do
Oh,
it!
my goodness.
And then give the loofah and put I loofah. I really loofah you. I really love you.
We need sound effects for when things
I'm
hit
so
and when they don't. Like,
hilarious.
cause that one is like, meh, meh, meh,
No, I
meh,
mean,
meh.
yeah.
A loofah. Get her a loofah.
I don't know. I gotta think. I always gotta think.
Yeah, but you got 3 days, bro.
All right.
This is we're intervening in your relationship with Michaela. You
So
got,
did you get Holly a gift yet?
yeah, I mean, my love. Always. I can't say it on camera. She's going to be watching or listening. Plus, the tricky thing around here for Valentine's Day got hijacked by one of our 8 Inspires born on Valentine's Day.
I know what I'll get her.
What?
A chiropractor appointment.
Oh, that's so nice. Why
That's
don't
a
you
great-
just
that's
why
a
don't you
great
just
gift.
crack her back?
I did yesterday.
Yeah, look,
It
that's
didn't work.
Oh.
Good enough.
Okay, but that could be good. Chiropractor, that's great. But yeah, when you I think as he gets older, I think we'll get Valentine's Day back. But at the age he's pretty like it's his birthday and he doesn't care that it's the Hallmark holiday of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got it on lockdown.
Good.
You got Jordan something already?
Yeah.
Already ordered?
Yeah.
Jordan, close your ears. What'd you get him?
I can't say.
What?
Black Rifle Coffee.
He might
new
listen
loofah.
to this.
A new loofah.
I got him something he loves and something he'll laugh at. It's
I
gonna be
can't wait
great.
to
I
find out.
actually am very
So is
excited.
it two
This-
things or is it one thing he's gonna love?
It's
and
two
laugh at?
things. One thing he's
Two
gonna
things.
love and one thing he's gonna laugh at.
Okay.
I hate giving gifts, and this time it just kind of fell in my lap, and I just was very grateful.
It's a
So
GTS, folks.
I hope he feels loved. It's not a GTS. It's not. And I even counted how much money I spent, and it was good. Like it's not a lot, and it. You know when we talk about you can give a gift and it can be like a big deal. It
Yeah.
can mean a lot, but it doesn't have to cost a lot. This is one of them.
I am very concerned for you when you go, I even counted. Like, this is the first time I've
Well, I
ever
was
counted
surprised.
how much money that's going to cost. Before, it's like, I don't care what it costs.
No,
Just-
it already cost. I already paid for it, and I thought to myself, that wasn't that expensive, and this is going to be a mind blowing gift, like
I
in a
love
good
it.
way.
I love it. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I'm going to be surprised. Dwayne, you got a couple days. Have you already ordered and thought about it? Oh, man, he's in the canoe with Joey.
I can't say it
His
online.
wife.
Yeah, because his wife is
actually
on the
is
other
watching.
end.
She
Yeah,
is
she's
watching.
watching. She's watching. But okay. But this is our way of helping everyone, okay? And in order to keep that spirit of love going along and keeping it alive for the next couple days, we got a great, maybe it is a card, but a handwritten card. My mom, she taught me this. She taught me this, but I don't really do it. But my sisters, they do it so much better. My mom buys cards from Hallmark, and they're always great and clever. But what my mom does is she comes in and underlines the words that really like, whoo, this is what I want you to hear. And so she underlines them every time. And you just read the whole card because you're like, what words are she underlining? It feels like some cryptic message when you read just the words. It's like I tend to just take the words out and read just them in a sentence, and it's like really heartfelt and fuzzy and warm. Like, I really thanks, Mom, for teaching me that. Maybe one day I'll use that skill for my children, but it's great to have, and my sisters do it, so you did a good job with them. It must be a thing guys don't do, girls do. I don't know.
Cards in general?
Yeah. Like, I can't remember the last time I bought a card, but I've made some cards.
I've done cards.
You have?
Yeah, it's such a waste of money, though.
Yeah.
Make your own card.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, you can make, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Michaela always does homemade cards. Always.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, because every time we buy a card, we're like, it's such a waste. Because let's be honest, you get a card, most people read it, so nice, boom, trash.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That is
trash bin.
I'll be true. That's true. But I do have some cards that I have saved, and they're in my drawer of my dresser because people wrote other messages on the side of it. And I'm like, I like that one. I can't let that go. And I'll pull them out occasionally. Like, I've had them from, I don't know, from when I was in high school to now. That just like, when I traveled across the United States and just left the house, my mom wrote some really cool cards, and I kept them. Some of them are from you guys that are sitting in there because of the message that's on the left side of the card. Because the message on the right side of the card, some other schmuck got that too. But on this side, no, can't say that word.
No, I know. I just love ya.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we got a great video for you. All that to say, again, we're trying to give you some time to think about what kind of friend you are. Why is that friendship over? and thinking about the word grit. What would be the letters you can take a stab at while we watch this video? What do you think the GRIT stands for in grit? Because we're going to break that down when we get back. But here is... I believe it's about cards, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually perfect for what we were talking about.
Here, check this out. It should make you actually laugh and smile if we haven't done that already. To you guys, happy Sunday to everyone watching. Unless it's middle of the week, then happy whatever day it is. Enjoy this video.
All right, I got it. She's gonna love it. Let's go.
Whoa, how'd you find a card so fast?
I am a speaker of lady language. I hear their voices in my head, much like Beethoven heard music.
No, I think those are just voices.
Either way, I've got a card and you don't.
I'm trying to find one with the right words. I can't find one that really describes how I feel.
Here, this one.
This one. This is the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Sugar is sweet and so is honey. I bought you this card because I had no money.
That is so you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's not me.
What are you trying to say?
I need a card that says, I don't deserve you. I never have, and I never will. From the moment that I first saw you, I knew that I wanted to be with you, to know you, to understand you. I am humbled that you chose me. I have married out of my league, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't recognize that fact. And I've never taken our vows lightly. What do I say to the mother of my children, my best friend, my soulmate? I love you can just sound so cliche and trite, but it's the only words that I know. I love you. I mean, that would be a card, you know? That would be a card that I'd want to buy. What's the matter? What happened?
Don't look at me.
Okay.
Look away.
I have. What's the matter?
It's like I'm a swimming pool, and your words are like cannonballs landing. Pull yourself together, man. Attention, everybody. We are in the presence of a true wordsmith.
No, we're not.
Allow his words to be the wings on which your cards fly.
No.
I want what he's having.
Okay, we need to go. We need to go right now.
I've got an idea. We'll get those cards that are blank on the inside, and we'll write your words on them, and then we'll give them to our ladies. but we have to write in calligraphy.
I'm just going to take your card.
Wait, what was that part about the true soulmates? I need a pen. I gotta write this down. That stuff is gold. That'll give me a whole Sunday of football.
What we're saying is write your own little message on the left side like my mom's done, and you'll get a lot of rewards as a friend. That's what we're trying to say. And great video, puts a smile on our faces. I texted my mom during that break. I was like, Mom, thanks for the cards over the years. So I might be sassy today, Lil, but I got a little bit of compassion in there too. From my mom was good. Okay, so we're in this. The whole idea today is talking about how to get the type of friends you want, because at the end of the day, it's not about we really are just selfish people, and we want a certain kind of friend. I think what we want friends around in our lives that are going to help us do all our Saturday chores, going to give us stuff, right? We're looking for this friendship that is all towards you, and when it's that kind of friendship, that's broken. Before we unpack that all, we want to give some shout-outs into the chat today, because sometimes we do this, sometimes we don't. And so, I see Katie and Momo sitting in there. Good morning, all the way in Michigan. We got Erdis in there, all the way from Tampa, Florida. We got Marnie, Washington. We were just talking about you, Marnie, the other day. How you came out here for Easter, because Easter's coming around the corner. You and your family came out to get baptized. That was so cool. We got Steve in the chat today. We have Legend in the chat today. Good morning. He's across the studio as well right here. He gets distracted sometimes in switching the camera because he's in the chat. He cannot do two things at once. We also have, let's see what else we got in here. We have, I'm scrolling through. I can't read it.
We got Nick.
Thank you.
Elizabeth. Kayla Lily.
Thank you for the help for everybody who's watching me suffer, floundering in the water. And you gotta come on again.
Yeah, we picked you up.
Thank you. Good friends. But thanks for being in the chat. Again, if you watch midweek, you can check out the chat. Obviously, we know there's heaps of you that watch throughout the week or after the live stream. But if you're here at 8 a.m. every day on Sunday, you can be in the live chat and steer the conversation. We can try to answer your thoughts and concerns. So we're really excited to have you. You can give a thumbs up to the video and subscribe to the channel. We really do pour on this one to always bring that up. But you can do those things. It's a way for us to know that you are a part of what we're doing here on YouTube. You can also go to unlockchurch.com/connect. Contact. Maybe we should just change it to connect, because that's how I say it all the time. But you can go and fill a contact card out, and then you will be in our database where you'll get weekly emails about things that are happening at Unlock Church. I give you a reminder about the Financial Peace University that's coming up in a week, and to get signed up in our mission trips. We got a really cool mission trip happening this May. What is it, Lil? What do you know about it?
We are going to Eureka Springs, Arkansas. It's very exciting. This will be our second year doing this missions trip, and we partner with the Great Passion Play, which is an organization that puts on this amazing production all about the life of Jesus, and they've got hundreds of acres of land that we go and help make awesome for all the people who will visit that production. And then Dirt Surfers is a one-wheel race that we'll help put on toward the end of the week. And it's really special. Get to bump shoulders with lots of people, and it's just memorable. So it's definitely something I would recommend.
Yeah, it's an event of a lifetime for sure. It's a way to, again, meet your community. We got to meet Dan and Jen and Parker last year. That was the first time actually getting to wrap our arms around them after being a part of Unlock Church online for 2 years. And it was so phenomenal. And then they came out here for our high school summer camp, which is happening. We don't have a flyer for that yet, I don't think, but it's July. We do.
Yeah, it's our
high school.
Oh, the high school middle.
Right.
Not
yet, but it's in July. We'll get a date there by next week for you guys, but that's happening. We also have Unlock Summer Camp, which is for the elementary side of things, but as a family, you can come and volunteer and be a team captain. You can help run stations. That's June 24th through the 28th. That is so much fun. You're talking about 300 to 500 kids from the Twin Cities in a public park doing a camp that will change your life forever. And so we as a church exist to help parent and raise the next generation to fall in love with Jesus. And so we say it a lot around here, partner with people to unlock their God-given greatness. You hear us say that all the time. The partnering piece is doing life with people online in a digital capacity here locally in the Twin Cities. So we do life with each other. It isn't just partnering like, hey, here's a book. We want to be in your life and to unlock your God-given greatness and to really figure out what that greatness is through a relationship with Jesus. And so we say that all the time. You might get sick of hearing that, but that's what we're trying to do. We see needs, meet needs with young families or older families or retirees. We're trying to help them. So thank you for hanging with us in the capacity that you do. And the last thing we got for you before we move on to finish the topic is, as a church and as a follower of Jesus, you see it a lot, like a chance to give resources in partnering with what we're doing in this mission to spread Jesus, the good news to the world. You can partner with us by giving to Unlock Church. Your tithes and offerings, or offerings are above tithes, okay? You can do that by what, Dwayne? How do they do that? How simple is it?
They can text the word unlock to 77977, or they can go to unlockchurch.com/give.
Yep, it's that easy. So thank you for all those that do give. You are helping us do those camps and the mission trips and all those things. And so more details about all the events that we just gave you before we get back into the topic. Nick, he wrote in the comments there, bummed about. We didn't. Did you get a Christmas card from Nick?
No,
this
he
year?
says he just.
He's
Scott's just mad that my Xmas card didn't make it to him. That's why he forgot me.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
you didn't make one? I don't know.
I thought he was saying I got to skim the no, we never got them. Like last year we got yours. Yours is sitting around here in the office somewhere, for the older one. I thought you didn't send them out this year. So maybe just take a picture of it and just DM it to me. It'll mean the same. But maybe you should get out a pen tool and write a special note on it, because then it follows suit of what we're saying. Okay. How to get the type of friends you want. That's a big one. We're going to come through on that and go, hey, you want good friends, you got to be a good friend. And I know that's such a cliche and that's understood, but it's so hard to implement because we are selfish people. We want what we want, and there's a famous statement, I don't want to be a doormat. And there's some truth to that. We don't want to be a doormat. We don't want to be walked over. That's what people are saying to that. But let me unpack some thoughts today as we do this. So hang tight. Jump in the chat. You can ask questions and stuff. But we said to have great friends, you have to be a great friend. And it takes grit and a unique ability to not quit. Okay, so we're going to go through what is Paul, one of the wiser guys in the Bible. He wrote most of the New Testament book-wise. He wrote a book called Galatians. So he's the author to a group of people that met and gathered, and he's trying to teach them Jesus principles. How to be more like Jesus, how to get rid of their old way of thinking and doing life, and then changing to be more like Jesus. And he writes this in Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. This is what it says. I think we're going to put it on the screen for you. You can screenshot it if you'd like. So this week, you can reread it or memorize it. Here we go. Let us not become weary in doing good. Let's just pause there for a second. Let's not become weary in doing good. What's he saying right there, Lil? He's saying, do not become weary. How would you say that? You deal with our young people. How would you say that to them?
I would say, it's kind of like, don't let yourself get burned out in the good that you do. Okay. How about you, Joy? The word weary is not something we use in our common language. Dwayne, I'm coming to you next. So you get a little bit of setup to it. Lil's going to look the word weary up in a dictionary first. What would you say?
Let us not become tired of doing good, or
Okay. I like that. That's a little bit more understandable. Don't become tired in doing good. Dwayne, how would you say it to your baseball team this week? Hey, let's not what?
It's not. I mean, it's not lose focus. Let's not.
That's good.
Take it for granted, of doing good.
I like where you started a second. Let's not lose focus, because I think what happens in friendship we lose focus when we get hurt by somebody. They say something, and we take it wrong. And what happens? Now, all of a sudden, we've lost focus on, it's about me being a good friend to them versus are they being a good friend to me? That's usually how we get offended. What's the word weary mean, Lil?
It means tired. Feeling or showing tired, very tired, especially working hard for a long time. And I like this one, exhausted in strength, endurance, vigor, or freshness.
Okay. I love that. Like, I do like the word weary, which is just something we use, so I would probably replace it. Let's not become worn out. Let's not fatigue. Let's not quit. Probably more of that. Don't give up. Don't quit. Those kind of always ring to me as like, it's an option then. So Paul's saying, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time, this is the cool part. Here's why. Don't quit. Can we put that back up on the screen here? For at the proper time, you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunities, let us do good to all people, especially those who belong to the family of believers. Okay, man, that's so good. Like, we could just say, Jesus, make it so in all of our lives and go, because this is going to make you a better friend. Now, people are going to push back because I get it, your perspective in life. You're coming in a digital aspect or space, and you're going, I don't believe what you believe, Scott, so it's hard for me to want to apply this. This is an all play, all skate for everybody in life, with Jesus or not. Now, there's a lot more power in it when you have as a follower of Jesus, because for at the proper time, you will reap a harvest. We give up on doing good for people. Now, whatever level of intimacy we have with them, we give up, so therefore we don't reap the harvest of that relationship. You might be looking in your life going, okay, I don't even have 3 highly quality relationships in my life. Well, let me ask a question about you, not them. When did you quit? When did you give up on them? When did you walk out? You drew a line in the sand saying, no, I cannot be around you, associate with you because you do dumb things. Now, I get creating space. Man, I got some friends that do things that I don't agree with, so I'm just not around for it. Okay, cool. You guys want to go do that? Like, I have friends that like to roll and wheel, but they like to go from bar to bar to bar. I don't go on those rides. You know what I did? Like us here, the table here, you know what we did? Because we like those groups of people that were around, but it's like we don't like that. We just created our own group ride. We created it. We eliminated the thing. It was like, nah. But we can take the best part of riding together and make it even better. And so we created Scott Meadow and Friends Group Ride. It's safe for the whole family. The conversations are genuine, and no one's getting wasted. Because we didn't just go, I don't want to be around you. We didn't give up because of the proper time to reap a harvest. You know what we've reaped in figuring out how to be around more people and to create relationships with people? We've got really good people in our lives that really have helped us out in tough times. Unexpected moments in our life that these people that we didn't know at one point, but because we continued to fight the good fight and nurture that relationship, at the right time in our lives, those people have stepped in and helped us. Now, that's a unique story to us. You're like, well, I don't ride one wheels in group rides. But you got to take these stories that we're going to share and put them into your context, in your environment, the state. I mean, we welcome just a handful of people, and they're all over the United States. I mean, if you ever just, when we say good morning to people, just do this as a person that's regular here. Just start getting a map of the United States. When we say Washington State, Tampa, Florida, that's in the far 2 corners, right? Then you got Nick and Megan way up in the Northeast. We got the other corner. Now we need like San Diego area, maybe even New Mexico, but that's not so corner. But if once you got the 4 corners of the United States, you know, maybe you are watching from one of those. Let us know. But we want to take and build relationships as much as we can, because at the proper time you'll reap a harvest. The thing about reaping a harvest, I'm not a farmer, but every year the harvest is at different times. Yes, there's going to be a harvest at some point. Farmers just don't know when the crop's going to be ready. Every year, where we live here in Minnesota, there's some farmers out here, and every year they're like, we're waiting for it to dry out. We need more rain. And there's things that are going to change the time of the harvest. And Paul's trying to say, hey, Don't give up. Don't quit on doing good. For at the proper time, you will reap. What he's saying when Jesus says it's fitting. But we're selfish. We want it now. We want money sitting in the bank account now. We want somebody to give us $1 million. We look at people as a transaction. We look at friendships as transactional. What is it in it for me? What am I getting out of that? That's gross. That's I don't know what you'd call that, Dwayne. Is there a term we would call that? It's not friendship. It's transactional. Is there even a title for that?
Fake? I
Fake?
don't know.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, fake
Petty.
friends. But
Kind of petty.
yeah, and again, I'm not sitting here on some pedestal. I got it all right. I've had seasons in my life where it's like I've gotten my checked on in my own self, going, "Oh, that's not right." I'm using them. It feels used. I got to change it. Instead of what they can do for me, what can I do for them? What do I possess that I can do some? I wrote it like this. After reading Galatians 6:9, I said, being faithful in the little things is a big thing. You cannot minimize being faithful in the little things. Small, faithful action equals significant change in personal life and friendships. Small, faithful actions equal significant change in your personal life and friendships. Small. Being faithful in the few things. And here's how we get that. The author Luke, who recently Legend learned this and shared it to a lot of us, and I thought I'd pass it on to you. He learned it in school. That Luke wrote the majority of the words in the New Testament. You got to hear how Paul wrote the most books, but when it comes to the length of the books, Luke comes in. And that dude did it with only a couple books. But because Acts is so long, and his gospel, Luke, is so long, he takes the pie for the most percentage, word-wise. I thought that was interesting. But Luke, Dr. Luke, he writes in chapter 16, verse 10, these are Jesus' words, if you are faithful in little things, you'll be faithful in large ones. But if you are dishonest with little things, you won't be honest with great responsibilities. And this is where Jesus then goes, if you're faithful with few things, then there will be increase. Be faithful with the few things, then there will be increase. But if you aren't going to be faithful with the little bit of itty bitty you got, that one friendship you got, you want the tent, you want a lot of people around you, you want the party 5. Well, how are you treating that one person? Are you a taker or a giver? Taker or a giver? And only you know the truth. Now, this is a hard one for us to process and consume in our own lives because we're going to justify, because we're kings and queens of justification of what we do and why we do it. Well, I would say I'm a taker, but here's why. You got to change that because those things are going to alienate and push people away. I think there's a movie about that, right? How to
Lose friends and alienate people.
Yeah, this is the way to do it. Be a taker. Because then people are going to start going, oh, this isn't about a friendship. This isn't about intimacy. The words in the Bible, last week we were talking about, are they Greek words though or Hebrew word? Greek. We got agape love. So we're talking about relationships and love. Last week we talked about agape love, which is godly love. Godly love is always shown in action. We say it here at Unlocked Church, see a need, meet a need. It's the ability to see it and then do something. When you see it and do something, see and do something, see, do. Oh, it sounds like I'm talking about sea dunes. The
Jet ski?
Yeah. See, you knew what I was saying. But you got to see and do. That is agape love. That's godly love. I see, I do. Well, then you got phileo love. This is friendship love. This is brotherly love. This is the way I want to make sure you get it. It involves, we're going to break down phileo love so you get it, okay? You think about it. You can log off today, end this, and go, I know some Greek words. You know agape? That's godly love. Phileo, brotherly love. Phileo. It involves feelings of warmth and affection towards another person. We were talking offline. Is phileo love, is it involved 2 ways? Does it need to be returned? What do you think, Joe? Is phileo love, brotherly love, need to be both ways, like you and I?
For it to be considered I think I guess I don't know. I think you can give phileo love without it being returned, but for it to be a real brotherly love, I think it's mutual in the fact that you both have to give that to each other. But I think you can give filial love without returning it. Like you can give it, like, and maybe you will reap the harvest eventually. But like I don't know that.
What do you think,
answer.
Dwayne? Are you going to rescue a friend here? Are you going to share some brotherly love?
Yeah, I would say no. I would say it doesn't have to be both ways, because it's what you said, the feeling of warmth and affection towards another person.
Right.
If like that's towards another person, that's my feelings, that's my thoughts, that's my now granted, getting phileo love back, that feels good. That that's what we all want,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be one way.
Yeah,
I think if it starts off one way, and I think it could turn out to be two ways, but
I
can
think
control
you.
what
I
we
think
can
that
control.
the way you just concluded that statement there, Dwayne, is correct. I think it always starts one way. I think it becomes more powerful. It's not 1 + 1 = 2 with this. I think when it's returned, it is exponentially larger and more
2 times 2.
powerful. Right. It's better. But I think as human beings, here's the issue: is we think that brotherly love has to be returned, and so I'm not going to have that warm affection towards another human being because it's not being returned. So they're going to be. I think that's dangerous for us because then what it is transactional. I'm only going to give you brotherly love, that warm affection, if you return it to me. And we look at Jesus' life, who is the definition of agape love, which is the action, God's action of seeing the plight of humanity. I'm going to send my son to earth, not because of what we did, but because of what we needed. There's the action. And then Jesus loved us in the way he's communicated and lived his life, brotherly love, without us ever returning it. It was just there. So I think inside us as human beings, we've got to understand that it does not need to be returned. It should just be part of. Now, I think when it is returned, it's powerful. We probably can't even put it into the context. But I'll use it. The best thing I can do is use an illustration. Holly and I, just like any relationship. Now, I know I'm going to talk about a wife, and it's like all the loves together. But there was one point where I was sitting in a kitchen. It was a real romantic setting. We were in Detroit, Michigan. And we were in a big industrial-sized kitchen, and Holly and I were talking, and somehow I said, man, baby, I love you. And it was not returned. She just blankly stared at me. I was like, oh, boy. I still loved her, but she didn't say it back to me. That's just kind of like what you're supposed to do, I think. But she was not on that opinion. She's like, no, that's cool. You love me. That's great. It took her like 3 months to say I love you back, which is great. Like, I kept telling her I loved her because I did. It was me. I loved her, and that wasn't going to change. And she was processing. Eventually, she did. But when she said she loved me, it was like, woo! That's great. It felt different all the time, but it didn't change my love. It made the love more powerful. And so you can have those warm affections towards others, and that's great. And you need to, but it will change when it's returned back. The definition of phileo love refers to, and here's where you get into the context of both ways, refers to brotherly love, and it's most often means you see it the most in close friendship. So obviously there's more than one person involved. Best friends will display this, generous and affectionate love towards each other, as seeking to make the other one happy. I think what happens a lot of times in marriage is when we come into marriage and we have problems in those relationships is a broke down phileo love, where we are doing phileo love in hopes to get something back. How many times have you walked away a close friend because you've given brotherly love and it wasn't returned? So you walk out. I mean, that's right. Come on, that you pause there because you're like, yeah, I have. Yeah, we all have. Because it sucks when your brotherly love is not shared back, but you cannot control people. You can't manipulate people. Lil, you taught this on Wednesday to the next generation, high school and middle schoolers. And how many times do you see this with middle schoolers or high schoolers? Oh, I can't be friends with them anymore because they're not going to say it this way, but they're not returning the love that I have from the brotherly love, so we can't talk anymore.
Yeah, I see it a lot. And like the word that has been coming up a lot, especially in individual conversations, is petty. And I haven't thought about that in a long time because I have learned that when you are really close friends with people who are following Jesus, the pettiness diminishes because those conditions go away for the most part. And so it's just like talking to them about how to not be that petty friend, even though they're all around you.
Yeah, I think with that, it's hurting people. Hurt people. We've got to understand that as a friend, if your friend hurts you, right, that sucks. And you're going to want to put up walls. But again, you want, let's call you 50 years old. And you're like, I don't have any close friends. Well, in order to get close friends, one that's like brotherly love, you got to start sowing now and not giving up. You got to have grit over the next decade to have that close friendship. Maybe this is going to be, some of you today, your homework is, I got to call some people and ask forgiveness. I walked out on them. And then see where it goes from there. It doesn't mean all of a sudden you're best buds, but you're recognizing, crap, I walked out on them because they hurt me. Maybe it was a family member you walked out and it was a broken down phileo love, brotherly love failed. And I didn't like that it wasn't returned. I've been there. Like, that's where I'm the most vocal, is when it's not returned. And the fights erupt because I feel threatened. But man, again, if you want what we all want, which is quality friendship, close friends, then you can't walk out on them. I will use Dwayne as a great example. Dwayne was a good friend before he moved here to Minnesota. He would write cards here. He was a better friend than me, probably. I will say that for you, Dwayne. You don't have to say that. I would say that because you were really good at watching vlogs and sending cards. If we can put Dwayne up on the screen, that would be great. I'd like to see his cute little face. There we go. But you were really good at sending those things. And then you moved here, and then you and I mean, it was just immediate. Like, we created this friendship. And then you moved. I got some choice words about that move, but you moved. But our friendship didn't end. I think actually it ramped up a little bit because the intentionality is now more a once in a while text. We see each other here. We have those half-hour conversations before we're starting and stuff. You can see how even though you moved, the friendship didn't end. It wasn't a friendship conditional to environment. It was the conditions are. The implication, did I say that right?
Implementation?
Yeah, of principles of brotherly love. Warm affection for other. And it takes two people to do it, yes, to get the most out of it, but it's one person being responsible for it. One person at a time. Asking yourself, am I doing my part? Do I want that friend over time? And we talked about to have great friends, you got to be a great friend, and that takes grit and the unique ability to not quit. So let's break down grit. I don't know if anybody wrote in the chat what grit stood for.
Elizabeth took a shot at it.
What did she say the G was?
She said the G was goal-oriented.
Ooh, goal-oriented. I like that. But sorry, that is not it. Grace is the word. Grace. You have to have grace for yourself and others. Now, obviously, when you say it, you're like, oh, yeah, you do. You got to be able to give people grace. Give them 50 million shots. They might have done something, maybe you had a friend you were hanging out with and they said they were no longer going to drink and then they're drinking again. You're like, oh, well, if grace runs out, peace out, man. You don't keep your word. And you do all the time? I do all the time? Come on, I don't think so. You got to have grace for yourself that you aren't perfect. And so you're going to make some mistakes and others around you are going to make mistakes. And God said, my grace is sufficient. So let it be. Lil, sing the song for me. Let it be.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
Oh, man, Led, you missed it again.
Speaking words of wisdom. Let it be.
Yeah, well done, Lil. Well done. It's got to let some things be. No matter how much the offense is, grace is has to be alive inside that. Grit in working out as well needs grace. Like I think the word grace grit always has to have grace in it because you're going to try to never quit. And sometimes you're going to feel like it and you got to have grace. It's going to be fine. You make mistakes. Others make mistakes. And God says, my grace is sufficient. Here in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9 says, this is Paul writing on the behalf of God. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will not boast. I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. Meaning, I'm going to point out my mistakes where I've come up short, because then you see Jesus' truth activated. So you got to give your friends and yourself grace. Both of you need grace.
Yeah.
Now, yes, Dwayne.
Yeah, I was to say, like, that's for me, the grace is like the having grace for yourself. Like you can't develop that friendly, that brotherly love if you're not opening up. If you're like, for me, a lot of times it's like I am naturally quiet, but at the same time it's like, okay, I'm gonna say something dumb. I'm gonna say something stupid. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth, and it's like you've got to be willing to be vulnerable and to kind of open up and have grace for yourself with that. So.
Yeah, I think it's one of the hardest parts of the word grit or just life in general, giving grace to ourselves and others. I think it's both ways. I think the same way you treat yourself with a lack of grace, you're going to give to other people. Because what I've seen in humanity, the amount of grace you give yourself, you even give less to other people. Right? Because I can justify why I did what I did. But, oh man, you said you weren't going to drink of that, and then you did. I can't trust you anymore. You're no longer a trustworthy person. But you've made a budget for yourself, and you overspent, and you went in debt for that one thing. Oh, but you don't understand. If I didn't have that, I was going to die. And it's not true. You were going to be fine without that next glass of Starbucks. So what did people say the R was, Lil?
Resilient.
Resilient. Yeah, we got a winner. Ding, 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 ding. Resilient.
Good job.
Was that Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Well done, Elizabeth.
Wow.
50-50 right now.
I never got that.
No?
No,
It's a good word.
it would have taken me all day to try to figure this
To
out.
just think of the word resilient. Okay, then take a crack at it. What's resiliency? What's to be resilient?
To like not give up.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I like it. It's great.
Yeah.
I'll take it. And that's what I mean. It's that inside friendship is this. This is back to Galatians 6:9. We read it already, but it's worth re-mentioning. Let us not become weary or get tired of doing good, for the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. You want good friends, don't quit on friendships. Don't quit. It's going to take that grit to have grace for yourself and them, and resilience to not quit, to get up, get over there, even though their marriage fell apart and you told them not to go out with that one individual and it's train wrecked their whole thing. You could post up and say, I was right, you were wrong. That's wonderful, but that's not brotherly love. That's gross. That's no, go, move in that direction. Whatever the topic is. I told you not to get in that car after that many drinks, and now you have to do, I can't. Now, there are some boundaries to create in those things, obviously, because guilty with association, and that is not for every transaction that somebody's done wrong, but obviously, hey, I'm not going to get in a car with you. You're drunk. There's no way I'm doing that. I will walk home. I will Uber, whatever it is. But it's the resilience to not give up. Even when people are speaking down on you. I heard this illustration this week, and it's such a good illustration. Now, it's a made-up illustration, okay? So hang tight, because some of you are going to go, what? Who would do it? It's made up but it's so good, okay? It involves two men and a donkey. And two men in the 1800s walk up on a donkey, and a donkey had fallen in a hole that's 20-some feet down. And they tried putting sticks down there to get the donkey to come. The donkey just couldn't get out of the hole. And they were just like, man, this sucks. And they don't have any weapons to end the life of the donkey. So they're just like, well, what we'll do is we're just bury this donkey alive. Because we're going to end its misery. Because if we don't, he's just going to starve to death. And so they started throwing dirt down on the donkey. And the donkey heard what's going on. The donkey's going, holy crap, they're looking to kill me here. They don't think I'm worth figuring this out. I didn't mean to fall in the hole. I just fell in the hole. Well, we just bury him alive. And so they start shoveling dirt. And all the dirt keeps hitting the donkey on the head. And the donkey just keeps shaking off because why wouldn't you? He's probably a Taylor Swift fan. Just shake it off. Lil, will you sing it for us?
I stayed out too late. Got nothing in my brain.
Well, no, we did shake off.
It off.
Thank you.
Shake it off. I had to start from the beginning.
Clearly. He's just singing and doing life with Taylor Swift in his big donkey ears, just shaking it off. And the crazy thing was, the more he shook off the dirt, the intentions of mankind, he started realizing, wait, the dirt's coming underneath my feet, and no longer I'm in the whole 20 feet, it's 15 feet. And he just kept shaking it off. And eventually, he just stepped out of the hole. And the whole idea with that story is the donkey took what was for bad from other people and just shook it off and eventually got him out of the hole. You got some friends that you feel like are just throwing dirt on you and they're backstabbing you and stuff. Just shake it off. Shake it off. Because at the right time, at the right time, you'll reap a harvest. And you got to understand the heart of when Paul's quoting that from Jesus and Jesus speaking those words, at the right time, you reap a harvest. A harvest is good. You don't call, I got a harvest of dead things. You don't harvest dead things. So when at the proper time, you're going to reap a harvest of good things, but you got to have grit. You got to have grace for yourself, others. You got to be resilient. You can't quit. You got to shake off all the bad stuff. The I, what did Elizabeth say the I?
Intentionality.
Yeah. Intentionality. Oh, I thought it was going to be integrity.
So which is it?
Integrity.
Oh, okay.
Integrity is going on. And again, these are interchangeable, I suppose. But
gotta have the intentionality too.
You do. But I think intentionality is packed into the
resilience.
Yeah, because you're not intentional. But integrity. If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. Being faithful in the little things is a big thing. Being faithful in the little things is a really big thing. Small things. But we're all saying, no, when I get the big thing, I'll be faithful with it. No, you won't. You haven't learned anything with the little things. I mean, we do this with our kids all the time. We got one wheels around here, right? It's no secret. We have a lot of pints, and the pints are getting older. Batteries are dying, and our kids that are on pints tend to not take care of them any longer. They'll leave them outside, not all night, because I won't allow that. But it's like, I want a GT, Dad. I'll take care. It's like, oh, so you think by me watching what you're doing with that pint, you don't think you won't do that with a GT? You think you're being faithful? That's what faithfulness looks like? Again, you got to pack all these principles Jesus is saying. Faithful with the little things, then increase. So with the little things, take care of, like we said last week, being a manager of things. Being faithful with the little things is a really big thing. Don't forget it. Be faithful with the friendships you got, the little ones you got. I only got one good friend. Then be faithful. What do you want to be greedy and have more? You only got $24 a day. And as you, Joey was alluding to earlier, being married and stuff, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, I am prioritizing my wife or my husband. They should be prioritized. They should have phileo love in marriage. If it ain't there, then you're going to find it eroding your marriage because phileo love is involved. You got to have all of the loves inside marriage. And when marriage is on the struggle bus, one of the loves is eroding. The intentionality is not there. The grace is no longer there. And integrity, meaning I'm going to be faithful, even when no one's watching me, even when it's not returned. It's integrity. I'm going to do the right thing, even though it's going to cost me. I'm going to do what I ought to, even if it costs me. I'm going to do what I ought to, even though it's cost me. I know brotherly love, though I'm not going to get returned. I might be treated like a doormat. I'm going to give brotherly love. And the last one is what in grit, Lil?
Trust.
Woo! Teachable. Teachability.
Two people guess trust.
Trust is good, and I think that's built in it as well. But teachability gives that two-way road of like I can get something from them, they have something to teach me, and I have something to teach them. Teachability in Proverbs 9:9 says, "Instruct the wise, and they'll be even more wiser. Teach the righteous, and they will learn even more." So who are you? Are you wise? Like, right? Teachability. A friend speaks in your life going, hey, that's dangerous up ahead. Do you take in that word of wisdom and go, okay, they know a few things? Or do you push back and go, I got this? Yeah, you got this. Your car going off a cliff. Yeah, you got the 99 problems. Because you're not listening to wise counsel. Wise counsel, most of the time, is going to oppose the crazy idea of eroding friendships and stuff. And do you listen to your friends that are saying, oh, no, wait? Or do you push back, I got this? 1 Corinthians 9:10 says, if you think you're standing strong, be careful not to fall. He's talking about pride before the fall. You got to be careful. You got to be careful when you think you got this. Be careful not to fall. And that's where people can point out, hey, that's going to be dangerous. So I posed this question as we wrap this thing up. Does faithfulness in all areas of life compound? Yes. Does faithfulness in all areas of life compound? Lily, what am I saying there?
Well, I think what you're saying is if you're faithful with your friendships, it will be likely that you start to implement those qualities of faithfulness in your finances or vice versa. It reminds me of there's like a season in my life where I wanted to read the Bible more and I wanted to be disciplined in that, but I wasn't very disciplined. But as soon as I got disciplined physically, it compounded into reading scripture more often. And it just, that's how God used it for me. It was a huge blessing, but it was my actions doing that. And so I agree with that. I think if you're faithful in the few things in one area, you'll go, oh, I'm going to clean up my car a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to sit down at the table with my family and not be on my phone as often, because that faithfulness will start to become a habit.
Yeah, you can use a lot of different words. It seeps into other areas. It grows faster. I think when I think of the word compound, it's multiplication, not addition. But again, we're in a culture of I want it now. We want the brotherly love now. We just want it now. I want the house. I mean, I think the issue we have, especially in Western culture, is we move out of our parents' house and we want the big screen TV and the couch and all those things now. Now. And then we're willing to pay a big price for it. We're willing to go into debt. We're willing to burn bridges to get it. Instead of, no, the actual proper way to do is be faithful with what you got. The friends you have, be faithful with them, meaning love them with not expecting anything in return. See needs and meet needs in their own life, despite what they have done to you or other people. If they're not the wisest bunch, again, there are boundaries in there, but use the word grit. And ask yourself, are you a person filled with grace for others and yourself? Are you resilient to not give up and quit despite what somebody might be thinking of you or saying about you? Do you have integrity? Are you the person you said you were going to be? Do you do the right thing even though it'll cost you? Do you do the right thing, or do you do what you ought to even if it costs you? And teachability. Are you teachable? Not are you teaching other people? Because that's the easy part. Right, Lil?
True,
right?
Yeah.
That's easy. That's the fun part. But can you take it? Can you listen to it? Can you go, no, that's wise counsel. That's going to keep me from going down that direction. And you know where teachability comes in? And this is great with Dwayne, a good illustration with Dwayne. I oftentimes, when I have big thoughts and crazy ideas, I'm about to do this, I'm calling Dwayne. I just need some of your wisdom here. What are the ramifications if I walk through this? And then he gives wisdom. It's still on my part to respond in a way that... not push back. Well, Dwayne, you don't understand, right? Dwayne, I call you often on those things. Hey, what do you think on this, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy to always do that because you just want to do, but it's also slowing down, going home. I know Dwayne loves me, wants good for me. Dwayne, what do you think on this? Is this stupid? How do I handle this situation? And then he speaks in, and I'm the one that still has to do action out of it, but Dwayne sets it up real nice. So thank you for being that friend.
You're welcome. You're that friend too.
But again, I hope everybody, Dwayne, as I got you on screen, anything you want to add to this as we wrap it up?
no, I think it's one of those that's like as with everything, it's easy. It sounds very clear and uh, very easy to implement at the beginning. And it's you get to the grit part as it gets life happens as
Yeah.
people become people and okay then you have to really do a gut check of okay am I having this like so I would say definitely write this down and have it there
Yeah,
so
I like how you say as the longer the friendship goes, I think as you're saying, the more this has to be implemented. The first day of a new friendship, it's pretty easy. But the long-term friendships, you're going to be offended by them. They're going to, and it's like, hang in there. I love what you said there. That's a good way to wrap that up, Dwayne. Thanks for being with us today, Dwayne. Dwayne. Thanks for being with us with your purple/blue and yellow hoodie on today. You look great.
thanks.
Enjoy the Super Bowl this evening. Joey, any closing thoughts?
No.
I like Joey. He's quick to the point.
Yeah, otherwise I'm just going to stumble over my words right now. It was good.
Okay.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good.
Lil, any closing thoughts?
Just keep showing up.
Just keep showing up. Just keep swimming is what Lil says. Everybody, let's pray, and then we'll rock and roll on to the afternoon. Again, thanks for being with us. Jesus, we pray for everybody that's listening to today live on Sunday at 8 a.m. or later in the week. We ask that you would speak into their lives, that they would know what areas in their life they need to make corrections, where they've got to make adjustments on their behalf. Not about the individuals in their life, not the friends that exist in front of them, but them. What kind of friends are they, and are they implementing the word grit? Do they have grace in themselves? Do they have integrity in their own lives? Do they have the ability to be teachable, and are they resilient? May all these things be active in our lives and our friendships, and may we look at our day and see how we're managing the time we have with our friends. Jesus, we thank you for being always an example on how to walk through this. Those that are sitting here going, okay, what's my next steps? May people trust you more in their own life. Jesus, we absolutely love you in your name. Amen. If you're watching throughout the week and you're like, okay, you're talking about Jesus a lot. What does this mean? Why do you go back to, because we're followers of Jesus. What we've done is decided to put our trust in Jesus and all the words he said. Believing that Jesus died on a cross and rose again. That's where it starts. A relationship with Jesus, it starts there. And there are facts. It's not faith to believe that Jesus, I just believe more than, no, go get the facts. Read eyewitness accounts of a man about Jesus died on a cross, rose again. Then go, I believe, and then invite him in. It's Jesus, be the Lord of my life. Give me direction in my life. And so you'll hear the word prayer a lot when it comes to that, but it's conversation with Jesus going, I invite you into my life. Forgive me of the stupid things I've done. We've all done them. And then get going to become more like Jesus. And it's really simple. It's not complicated. It's not a bunch of hoops. It's get facts. Find out that you believe in who Jesus is. Invite him to be the Lord of your life, which is the CEO of your life. And now go into a relationship with Jesus, trying to be more like him. And here on this channel, we try to provide that space for you. If you have more questions about that, you can text this phone number on the screen. This is a way for us to communicate to you. You got big questions. Hey, I want to become a follower of Jesus. You can text this number that's on the screen as we end this, 651-276-8797. And there will be somebody throughout this week that will respond to your questions to be able to help you make Jesus the Lord of your life. So thanks everybody for hanging with us. We are excited about all the things coming up in the future. Next week, we're going to talk about the third love, which is what, Lily?
Eros.
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 Yeah.
Look it up.
Every time I go to spell it, I spell it with an A. Totally not right.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about that next week. We're in our series all about love, everybody. Have a fabulous Sunday. Let's go 49ers and Chiefs. Let's go the red team, in
Good
Lily's
luck,
words.
guys.
Good luck, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.